Although recycling has been very popular in most communities, there is often resistance when people assume that it's costly or time-consuming. There's often difficulty over who will pay for recycling, but when you analyze the savings of not throwing trash in landfill, which costs an average of $50 a ton, it makes sense to recycle. Plus, many recyclable products can be sold to help cover the cost of processing.
Things are going to happen! And they're going to happen to you, and you, and you, and you! Oh, Billy! People at Springfield, heed this warning! Twisted tail, 1,000 eyes, trapped forever!
I'm Renee with Trialloy Group. The big benefit for recycling anything aluminum is that it takes 10% of the energy to remelt aluminum as it does to create virgin aluminum from bauxite. So there's a 90% energy savings. So it's obviously very huge, and that's one of the reasons it's been going on for so long, because it's always been very cost effective. All right, some of the things you see here might have been being melted over and over again from the early 1900s. I mean, if you didn't do something to recycle all this stuff, it would have to go to the dump.
Yeah.
And that $150 million that we exported probably represented 200 million pounds of scrap. And we're just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we're probably a fairly small percentage of just California's exports of that material.
First, one of you humans empties an aluminum can and decides to recycle it, which is a very good thing. Next, the cans are collected and compressed into big bales, which weigh about 1,000 pounds each. Ugh. These big bales are sent to a recycling plant, where they're shredded, melted, and cast into ingots. Giant slabs of aluminum that weigh more than 40,000 pounds. Phew! Then the ingots are rolled into long coils of beverage can sheeting, which can manufacturers use to make new aluminum cans. Next, the cans are cleaned and sanitized and filled with your favorite beverage. Then the drinks head back to the consumers. That's you. And when you empty the can and recycle it, the whole process starts all over again. Aluminum cans can be recycled over and over. And believe it or not, the whole recycling thing only takes about 60 days. Pretty cool, huh?
The federal government needs to adopt new laws to make it cheaper for individuals and businesses to properly recycle materials. Without the government's involvement, recycling would remain impractical and a waste of both time and money. High recycling fees cause some companies to export their obsolete electronics to countries with weaker or non-existent environmental laws, making pollution from hazardous materials a big problem in those countries. Also, 180 million tons of waste are produced each year by the American population, but only 13% is presently being recycled. More than two-thirds of America's landfills have been lost in the last 10 years due to voluptuousness. The government passed the 1976 Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, RCRA, which was aimed at prodding federal departments and agencies to recycle and buy recycled products. Now, the prices of recycled goods are more appealing to customers because they are cheaper and in most cases lower than their virgin competitors. This large step made by the government has greatly influenced our nation. Some have offered grants to start recycling centers and incentive programs to encourage recycling. A few have made laws to control the waste problem by making the state change to recycling. Now all the government has to do to maximize efficiency is to create a national, federal enforced recycling program.